Well, hey preschoolers, it is Jeff. I'm back again. And you'll never believe it, but Topher has been at it again. Now you see back here is my black rolling wall, and he took the pictures from our Bible story on Monday and he mixed them all up again. What are we going to do with that silly little gopher? Well, I need your help to put these back together. This is a little learning center activity that we get to do together, and I call it Picture This. So help me put these pictures in the right order again, and let's remember the Bible story that we heard on Monday. All right, I'm going to stand back. Do you guys remember which of these was the first picture that we looked at? It's this one right here. This is a cross. And remember our Bible story, Jesus had been walking around and telling everyone that he was God's son, and he was teaching people all about God and how much God loved them. Well, there were some people who did not like that one bit. They especially didn't like that Jesus was telling people he was God's son, even though it was true. And so they captured him and arrested him, and then they attached him to this cross. Not with glue or with tape, but with nails. And Jesus was stretched out here for 6 hours, and then he died. It's very sad that the Son of God had to come to earth and die. But he did it to show us how much he loved us. All right, this was our first picture. What about our next one? Do you remember which of these left is our next picture? This one right here. This big cave kind of thing is called a tomb. And this is where people used to bury dead bodies. Now we maybe bury them under the ground, or we maybe take their ashes and put them in a little vase. But back then they used to put them in a tomb. And so one of Jesus' followers, a man named Joseph, took Jesus' body down off the cross after he died, and he wrapped him up kind of like a mummy, and he put him in this rock. And he had this big, heavy rock, and a few people rolled that rock against the tomb. And that was it. Jesus was buried. All right. What's our next picture? We've got 3 left. And we want the number 3. Because 3 days went by and Jesus, he was in that tomb. That's what happens when you're dead. You're just buried, and that's it. But after 3 days, some of the women who followed Jesus, it was a couple of women named Mary, they went to go visit the tomb. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone, or maybe your mommy or daddy have gone and visited someone's grave? Well, that's what they were doing. They missed their friend Jesus, and they wanted to go visit where he was buried. But when they got there, there was a huge earthquake. And then something amazing happened. What's our next picture? This one right here. This angel. This angel appeared. He rolled the big heavy stone away all by himself. And the guards that were there at the tomb, they got scared and they fainted. And then the angel told the women that Jesus, he said, don't be afraid. I know you're looking for Jesus, but he is not here. He has risen just like he said he would. That's our memory verse for this week too, right? He is not here. He is risen just like he said he would. Jesus wasn't dead anymore. Jesus is alive. And our last picture is the only picture left. Such a happy day. the women were so excited that they went to run to tell Jesus' other followers that Jesus is alive. And then they actually met Jesus on the way, and he said hello to them, and they fell down at his feet and they worshiped him. It is such exciting news that Jesus is alive, and we can tell everybody that Jesus is alive. That's our big idea this week. I can tell everyone that Jesus is alive. And you know what? You can tell everyone that Jesus is alive too. I hope you told everyone in your house that on Monday, and if you didn't, do it right now. Run and go and tell them Jesus is alive. That's such a good, happy ending to our story. I can't wait to tell you a new story next week. Bye-bye, everybody.